Welcome. Well, he chooses to cough on the exact moment that we start the live stream. Welcome, everybody, to the launch of the James Masadi and Our Team Accounting YouTube channel. My name's Owen Video. I'm here as a business partner to James. James, as you know, is the CEO of Our Team Accounting. He is a financial mastermind and somebody that we have been thrilled to work with, and we're going to get started in just a moment. So James, say hi to the folks that are watching. I'm going to share this link out and invite some of my friends to come because we got a good show lined up for you guys today.
Yeah. So thanks everybody who's here so far. Really appreciate, you guys coming to support and, check out what we're doing on the channel. I can tell you that when I started this, I had no idea kind of what it was going to look like or how things were going to happen. So for those of you who have maybe seen some of the videos that we've kind of been trickling onto the channel so far, I can tell you I'm super stoked at how they've turned out and certainly look forward to getting some feedback from everybody in terms of, what they think and what kind of videos y'all would like to ultimately see. So
it's a great question, and I think a lot of times, people don't necessarily know what they want to see.
Yep.
But they know that they have sort of like holes
Yep.
in their financial story,
Yep.
right? James, what are some of the topics that are passionate for you that whether or not the audience wants to see them, as the financial doctor, you're kind of like, dude, you need to watch videos like this. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So like the first series of videos that we have released actually is one of those things, right? And because one of the things I hear from, whether not even like clients and prospects, but just people in general, like on Facebook groups or LinkedIn or wherever, and they're like, I need a new accountant, right? Or they're like, I've outgrown my accountant. And when I ask the question, I'm like, what does that mean? And then they start like digging a little bit deeper. They're using the terms like accountant and CPA very interchangeably.
Good.
And what people don't realize is that like accountants, CPAs, EAs, like all these different people, they actually have different specialties, no different than like a doctor or a lawyer does, right? So this first set of videos is really all around getting clarity on, building out the financial team that as a business owner that you need behind you, and understanding that, you can go to a general practitioner or you can go to a specialist as a doctor, right? Like you can go to a lawyer who does kind of a little bit of everything, or you can go to somebody who's like super deep in a particular subject matter area, right? And that's kind of where we really kicked off, because what I found was that there wasn't a lot of great information out there to help people actually understand, what they needed at what points in time throughout their business. So some of it's going to be like basic stuff. Well, I say basic stuff like that, but like just when I see where there's people who have like misunderstanding or needing clarity on things, is creating topics where we can create clarity.
Yeah.
My team is also going to be creating some more like technical stuff. So like, hey, how do I actually do this in QuickBooks? Or why do I do this? Or, what's the best way to handle this kind of thing? Or how do I get this information out of my system? And so we'll have some technical things, but a lot of the videos I'm going to be doing, I'm also a profit first professional. So we're going to be going through a bunch of profit first content. But really the purpose behind why I really created this video, and again, we may recover this once we're fully live with everybody, but I'm really passionate about helping people achieve their personal and their professional financial goals. So ultimately where that comes from for me is I acquired my business and am actively pursuing additional business acquisitions. And I'm also a real estate investor. Wow. And so there's other content that we're going to be bringing in that's kind of like, all right, you've got your financial footing in place, whether it's as an individual and you're looking to get into business, or you've got your financial footing in place as a business owner and you're wanting to kind of diversify or expand through business acquisition or real estate acquisition. And how do you kind of go about trying to accomplish all of those things? And so, the different topics that we've got queued up, we've got tons of video ideas queued up for me to record, are going to be covering a lot of those topics over the next weeks and months.
Yeah, man, that's super good. I don't think anyone ever shared with me the importance of having like a financial team. Mm-hmm. You hear about these things. You hear about terms like accountant and bookkeeping. Let me tell you guys, when I first started my business on the streets of San Diego, what, 15 years ago, right? We've always done YouTube. That's all we've ever done, right? Knocking on doors, inviting people with local businesses to start a YouTube channel with us, right? And who owns local businesses? It's real estate agents, it's accountants, right? It's some of the brokers and whatnot, right? Karate studios and bakeries too, but we didn't really, we worked more with like financial businesses. And I hired, my very first bookkeeper was like little old lady from the chamber, you know? And you know, I thought that this little old lady was going to be digging into my finances and digging into my taxes and like really finding like loopholes and and I found a way to, dude, it was nothing of the sort. She came into my home. She did the books at the bare minimum and God rest her soul. I don't even know if she's still alive, right? Like, where does a business owner get this kind of education? Like, we don't, you know, you don't start a business and the chamber calls you. It's like, oh, by the way, you need like these 5 people on your team. Where are most entrepreneurs learning this information now?
When they screw up or like, you know, or I will say, like, you know, the hard part is absolutely like for those people who are getting started, like the folks that realize they need the help are the people who, quite frankly, either, you know, they got lucky, you know, and they've just survived their business to a large enough size, right? Maybe they had a mentor, but when people are starting to find out they need these things is like when they get into like coaching programs and things along those lines, and they get themselves a mentor and somebody who's been down that path. And that's when they're starting to, you know, actually kind of find out the difference between, you know, oh, there's a person who does your taxes and then there's a tax strategist, and those aren't necessarily the same people. Like there's bookkeeping and then there's like CFO services, and like those are not the same thing, right? And so people who have these ideas in their mind around what kind of help and support they're going to be getting, like again, like you said, it's either trial and error. They get into a situation, they realize the person they have can't help them, and then they get smarter about what kind of questions they ask. Or again, they have some sort of a coach or a mentor that walks them through that stuff. So again, like kind of noticing that was definitely a big part of why, you know, one, I wanted to launch this channel was, you know, kind of realizing that there was an opportunity to share with folks, you know, because again, like I myself am not an accountant, right? Like I come at this stuff from the perspective of a business owner, right? And so it's like, hey, how do we actually make financials make sense to business owners so that they can run their businesses in a more profitable way, right? And that's, you know, like we're not going to get super technical on a lot of stuff. We've got a series of videos coming out on like, as a business owner, like how to read your financial statements and actually like kind of make sense of what's coming out of those versus just having somebody be like, oh yeah, like go look at your P&L and you can find this information, or like, oh, that's on your balance sheet. Like, okay, what does that even mean, right? And if you don't have training on that stuff, you're not going to know and understand those things.
I feel like that's a skit that we could do. It's kind of like, hey, James, give me some financial advice. And you're like, check your balance sheet. And you're like, okay, great. Now, what's a balance sheet?
You
know, I learned some of that stuff from a book called like How to Run a Lemonade Stand. And this is a book written for adults, but it's written for adults like me who are brilliant in the arts, but maybe not so much in the sciences. You know what I mean? Like where I needed some simple concepts explained to me. But as we've begun to work with you and see the videos that you're producing, we've even noticed holes in our own system that have helped us to make better financial decisions for the company. Like, how much should we spend on ads, and how much should we spend on marketing, and what should our ROI be on those things, right? And that's a little bit of what I want to get into today. It's 9:06, so at least in my time. So why don't we start the show? We've got 12 of you guys watching right now on YouTube. And if you're watching right now, I'd love for you to put a comment, write us a chat, just say hello, say what's up. Or if you really want your questions answered, if you have questions about launching a YouTube channel or what James has gone through in that process, or better yet, if you've got questions on finances and how to run your finances, we want to encourage you guys to ask those questions. James will answer them for you. And get this, we're even going to make videos based on those questions. So we're excited to have you here with us today. And I'd love for us to get started officially. So are you guys ready to start this launch?
Yeah.
All right.
I've been ready, man. Let's go.
Yeah, easy. He's like, oh, I thought we started 10 minutes ago. So I want to say what's up to Carlos. Want to say what's up to Charles. We've got you. I know we got you guys watching out there today. We're going to really ask you guys to engage with us today as well. And really click some of the links and watch some of the videos, because our main goal is that we establish a great relationship with you, where James is going to be producing weekly videos. We want to see you, Elizabeth Bauer, and it's even the traditional Bauer spelling. That is German by nature. So yeah. Elizabeth, we're happy to see you. Okay, I'll keep jabbering. So let's go to the script for a minute and just get this thing started off right. What we're gonna do, guys, for those of you watching, is we're gonna cut all this up later. We're going to go live right now, but then we're going to take this footage, we're going to chop it up, we're going to make new videos. And so some of this stuff we want to kind of have scripted out. So let's go back and we'll get started in 5, 4. Welcome everybody to the James Masadi YouTube launch event. We are so excited to have you guys here to join us in this really special event that's new and exciting. And it's a little different. It's a little different because we're live streaming on YouTube. And YouTube is not like Facebook. And it's not like Instagram. In fact, YouTube is more like Netflix. And James Masadi has created a show. Not just a couple videos, but a show. And he wants you to join him every week to watch new episodes that will educate you and that will be entertaining and fun. And James and I have worked together to launch this channel for the betterment of our culture and of our society as a whole, because people are not educated on finances or business finances or taxes in school. We are not taught any of that. And then we're thrust into the world and we're told, hey, go make a living. Well, James has seen an opportunity to serve this audience with great content that's delivered every single week. So I want to just take a moment right now, if we all could, and just give me some thumbs up. Give me like a round of applause for James, because James has been working his tail off in building this channel. So James, we want to recognize you as being a leader in this space, and congrats on all the work that you've been doing here. Tell me, why did you want to start a YouTube channel?
Yeah. So, I mean, again, well, a long time ago, back when I was a wee lad. So I've always had the idea of like, kind of, like if you know me, you know, I like to talk, you know, that, I get very passionate about topics and I want to share the experiences that I've had. And it's always kind of been like finding my voice and how I wanted to convey that and like the passion behind it. And again, there's a lot of different like topics that we're going to be covering on the channel that all kind of focus towards helping people accomplish their personal and professional financial goals. Right. And that's just kind of the broad topic that I was like, there's so much. And we talked like a little bit in I guess we want to call it like the pre-show kind of recording of, people tend to not find these things unless they stumble upon having mentors and things like that. And so it was like, hey, let's try to create content that can shortcut for people. Like, these are questions you should be asking or things that you should be thinking about as you're building your business and as you're considering kind of like your holistic financial journey. And that was really where, like, again, kind of like the light bulb kind of finally went off and was like, all right, I have enough experience now. I have enough knowledge. I have enough things that I can share from my own journey and people that I know and have watched go through it to now be able to help other people at least start taking the right steps in the right direction. And then hopefully, as I grow, so does my audience, right? In terms of, where we all are today is hopefully not where we're going to be 12 months from now or 5 years from now, right? So that's what's going to be exciting.
That's a great question to ask. For those of you guys watching us right now, what do you do? What's your job? What's your business? What's your profession? Let us know in the comment section. I see Gonzo Life is here. Great to see you, Gonzo. Thanks for being here. And if you have questions for James, I want you guys to think of this as like a little bit of virtual consulting, right? Like some of you guys out there I know are already working with James, and it's like, hey, am I allowed to ask questions? Yes, ask your questions and force James to give you an answer for free. This is how we bend the arm of our clients.
Oh, man,
and we're gonna get great.
How flexible am I?
Yeah. Watch that shoulder, man. That frozen shoulder. That really starts to get together. So we got Charles Stokes out there, who's got a handyman biz. We've got John Ray Flores out there, who's in marketing. And we've got Lisa, who says, I work with James, and he's great. Let's maybe, Carlos, put some of those comments up on the screen. There we go, Lisa.
Yeah. See, here's the best part. Like, I pay her to say things like that, right? So it works out really well, you know?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's like on payroll. How many people do we have watching, and are they all on payroll?
No, not all of them. Not all of them. Just a few.
And Charles does business automations as well. So we're glad to have you guys here. And we want to encourage you guys to share this out and help us grow our audience. Here's what's great about YouTube. Everybody who is watching us today, okay, that means you're watching us right now. Here's what YouTube's going to do. For the next couple of days, YouTube's going to show you more of James's content. That's how the algorithm works, and that's why we do this. You ever notice that your kids log into your YouTube channel and then they watch a bunch of cartoons, right? Or they watch Dude Perfect. Then you log back into your channel, and it's all these Dude Perfect videos. It's all these cartoons it's showing you. Well, that'll last for a few days until you reboot your algorithm, right? Until you watch more James, and then James will pop up more in your algorithm, right? And so what we do is we go live so that you guys watch, and then over the next couple of days, you see James's videos. Here's what we're going to do. We want to encourage you after today, when you see James's video in the news feed on YouTube, to click on it and watch a minute or two of it. You don't need to watch the whole video, but we want to encourage you to watch parts of the video so that you're signaling to YouTube, hey, James's content is worth watching. The goal is not to trick you. Okay. You're here learning the secrets.
We already tricked you.
No, we already got you. The goal is that you'll watch 2 minutes of James's next video, and then YouTube will go, hey, people like James's videos. We should send it out to 1,000 more people. Okay. And that's something that you guys can do to help. And what we're doing today is called the YouTube launch. And like I mentioned, our goal today is to introduce you to the content that James has been working on. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through his channel. We're going to ask you to watch some videos with us. And we're going to be playing a little bit of a game, a little bit of a contest. Okay. So we're going to be giving away some gift cards. And we want, those are either going to be cash gift cards or Starbucks. It just kind of depends on who wins and where you're located. But we're going to have some fun, and then we're going to get you guys back to your lives in the next 15, 20 minutes. So if that sounds like something you're willing to do with us, say yeah in the comments. And that's
that wasn't for me.
No, it wasn't. Like, follow the rules, buddy. Who are you? Who do you think you are, right? We got Harrison Singer, too, who says, we work with James and his team, and they're awesome. Definitely recommend joining his school community. What's James, tell us a little bit. What is school?
Yeah. So we kind of talked about the interest that I had in, helping folks achieve these, personal and professional goals, financially speaking. And this first series that we've got up on the channel right now, helping people understand their, financial professionals that they need in their lives. And again, kind of in the little pre-show, you talked about when you first got started, right, on the main streets of San Diego, that, you had a hard time kind of getting the help and the support that you needed.
Yeah.
And so there's this great platform out there called School. For those that aren't familiar with it, it kind of mixes like Facebook groups with the ability to kind of like create courses and content and put like content on the platform. There's like a gamification engagement element to a lot of things. And so what we're doing with that is we have a free school community where we will be putting up a lot of information specifically about Profit First. There's a lot of accountability that we're trying to drive in there. But then we also have a group coaching platform on School as well. And so that is, it's our paid community. Right now it's $89 a month. That price will go up as we create more courses, more content and things like that. But myself and my team are there every single week. I'm there on Tuesdays. My team's there on Thursdays. And they're recorded sessions, which is why it's $89. But otherwise, you can come and ask any questions that you want. And we will answer them and we will help you do what you need to have done. We just won't do it for you. And so if you come on, you share your screen, hey, I'm having this problem, what do I do? Rather than going into random Facebook groups and getting asking questions, getting a whole bunch of insights, it was we wanted to know that we have a lot of people come to us and they need to have, we call it historical renovations on their financials, right? Oftentimes it's, I tried to do it myself, or I had a family member do it, or, whatever it might be. And the work is just not done in a way that's of high quality. And we've seen so much of this come together. Part of us, we asked ourselves, how can we reach people, before it gets to this level of things, and do it in a way that, is scalable for us, but is affordable for those small business owners, right? So people who are just getting started in that, pre $250,000 or $300,000 revenue range, that are I can't afford a couple $100 a month for a good quality bookkeeper, but I have these issues, I have these questions I need answered. We really felt that there was a need for creating that in, kind of a done with you coaching group. And so School was the platform that we really identified that would allow us to take a lot of what we're building out as part of, the content that we're creating on YouTube. And some of the videos, there's going to be, giveaways and things that you can download. And a lot of that content will be funneled back into the School community, where we're really trying to encourage people to, find a group of like-minded business owners that can help hold them accountable on their financial journey and things along those lines. So that's what we have, 2 communities on School, and that's what those are really focused on.
Yeah, that's really good. And I'll tell you, I wish I would have had that when I started. Looking back now at all the money I wasted in the first 10 years of 10 years, bro, of my business, because, financial people, they kind of wait for you to ask the right questions, right? Your local bookkeeper has got more clients than he or she can handle. Right. So they're going to go in, they're going to cross off all the I's and dot all the T's to make sure that they can get their license renewed. Right. And make sure they make no violations. But it's not like they're digging into your taxes. It's not like they even know how to. Right. And taxes is just one part of it. But I would even say the same thing for your profit and loss. Right. Looking at what a thing costs and the right reports. And we're going to get into some of those things today. But first, let me introduce myself really quickly. My name is Owen Video, and we help companies launch YouTube channels. We do not work with YouTube creators. We love YouTube creators. But if you're working at Starbucks and your goal is to build, an anime channel, we're not your guy. That's not who we are. But if you're a business owner, if you're self-employed, if you have a company, maybe even a Fortune 500 company, and you're looking to launch a YouTube channel that will generate clients, that's what we do. And so we've been working alongside with James to build this channel and to create the content strategy that we hope will connect with you. And what we'd love to do is we'd love to play some games with you guys right now by showing you the James Masadi channel. So Carlos, if you want to go to the screen share, let's go to the James Masadi channel right now. And I'm going to put a link in the chat bot. Oh, excuse me. I'm looking at a chat bot. I'm going to put a link in the comment section, the chat area below, that I want you guys to click. And I want to show you some cool YouTube tricks. So are we looking at James Masadi's channel? Okay, awesome. So if you guys click the link in the chat area right now, you know what? It won't let me post it because it's a link. Let me post it here on YouTube. Okay, so you'll see the link I just posted is gosubnow.com/James Masadi. When you click on that link, it will ask you to subscribe. We are going to ask you guys to subscribe right now. So go and click the link right now that's in the chat area and subscribe to that channel. We got 22 people watching right now. James, what did I say the goal was for today?
I think you said it was like 35.
Oh, easy, pal. Way to like throw me under the. I said our goal was 20 today. Our goal was 20. We got 22. So it's awesome to see that. Go ahead and refresh this page, Carlos. Let's see how many subscribers we got. Now, it could be a lot of you guys are already subscribed. So, we're going to see as this thing goes. But I want to encourage you guys, when you start a YouTube channel, you want to have a subscriber link that allows people to subscribe right from one click. And Carlos is refreshing the page here. 28 subscribers. Look at that, guys. We just shot up, 9 or 10 subscribers in one fell swoop. One fell swoop. Is that Nate Bargatze? Okay, we'll talk about it later. All right, now that's great, guys. So we want to encourage you to be a part of James's channel. Now, let's actually look at what videos James has been working on right now. So we've got hire a tax strategist, payroll solution, hire a tax preparer, build your financial team, and what's that last one? How to hire a good bookkeeper. James, tell us about these videos and why they were important for you to make.
Yeah, so these videos are really important for me to make. It really started with, like I said, I'm in a bunch of like Facebook groups and things like that, and was getting really frustrated because I kept on seeing people like, oh, I need an accountant or I need a new CPA. And what they really meant was like, I need somebody to help me with my taxes, or I need a bookkeeper, or, I hear a lot like, my tax person just doesn't cut it anymore. And like when I ask deeper questions, like, well, like, what do you mean? Like, well, all they do is my tax returns. They never like provide me any like tips and suggestions on how I can like save money on my taxes. And so I wanted to really kind of like break it down for people. And so like kind of like the first video in the series, so to speak, is the build your financial team from bookkeeper to CFO. And in that video, we go over kind of the 6 like key roles that a accounting professional can basically play in your business, journey. And from there, I kind of structured it in a way of like, as going into business, what's the first thing that you're going to need? And the first thing, even no matter how small your business is that you're going to have to file tax returns with the government, right? Like that's the requirement that everybody has to do every single year. And so it starts out with that. And then kind of is like, okay, as you grow and you progress, you're going to go from needing to file taxes to needing help with your accounting to, needing to probably have employees that you're going to pay. And then you're going to need some advisory services. And then you're going to need some tax planning and strategy. And then you're potentially going to get into a spot where you may have to, hire an auditor for some reason, right? Because you're bringing on investors, or you want to go public, you're getting big, whatever it is. And actually walking people through all of that at kind of a high level. And then what we did is we went even deeper into each one of those to help people understand the different things that they should be looking for when hiring each one of those professionals, so that at the end of the day, they could find the right fit and the right person to meet their specific needs.
Yeah. Well, were these designed to watch in order, or you can kind of just through
they are filmed in an order, right? So they are individual standalone videos. So like you could watch any one of these and you're going to get value out of that specific topic. So like it is designed so that like if you're just in a spot right now where you're like, I've been hearing a lot from folks of like, I need a tax strategist. Like that, especially this time of year, seems to be the thing that's on like a lot of people's minds. If that's what you need and that's what you want, like go ahead and watch that video. Like you don't need to have watched the previous ones, but there was just like there's this overarching need of like all business owners to kind of know and understand, those pieces of things. But again, for the folks like you back in your early San Diego days who were like, I don't know where to start. Like, how do I get that? Yeah. That's also what the first video is for, is it's to kind of help people understand where to start, but also understand the differences that these professionals have amongst each other. Where, I would say like, some people can do all of these things, but most people can't do all of them well. Right. And so it's needing to find where you can get.
You know what? I'll tell you, you guys are going to go nuts, but I use vacuum cleaners all the time as an analogy for life. Because life can be disappointing, and every vacuum I've ever purchased has been disappointing. But my point is here is that you think you know what you need. You think you bought one thing and you bought another thing, right? You look, trying to buy a vacuum that does everything, you're going to buy a crappy vacuum. You know, it does none of them well. It's the same with your bookkeeper. And when you got a bookkeeper, an accountant who's like trying to do all of it, like there's an indication there that they're desperate for cash too, that they're sort of like saying yes. And you don't want a yes man. You don't want a yes person managing your books. You want someone who's like, dude, you're making some big mistakes here. So we're going to play our first game here. And what we're going to do is we're going to give away some gift cards here to those of you guys that play the game with us. So I see Raymond Thompson is asking, did I win the gift card? It's like, we haven't started the game yet. But here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to click on the link in the chat area. Now, sorry guys, post the link to build your financial team. That's what we want everybody to click on. I thought I had posted that. I'm going to copy that link. I'm going to put it in the chat. Here's what I want you guys to do. Go click on build your financial team. And I want you guys to just watch it for a minute and leave a comment. Go do that now. What we're going to do is we're going to pick one of the comments. We're going to give away some gift cards. So go ahead, Carlos, click on from bookkeeper to CFO, building the ultimate financial team. I want you guys to go over that video. You have to leave this video. You have to leave it and then come back, right? Go do that now. Carlos, click on the video, play it with no sound, and that way we can kind of see the comments pop.
If you're a small business,
yeah, you'll notice like we could play it for you, but that's only one view. When we send you to it, that's 2, 3, 4, 5 views.
And this is one of those like double your penny every day kind of thing, right? So like I need like if you watch it once today, then tomorrow you have to watch it 2 times, and the next day 4 times. And if you don't want to do that, then that just means you have to share it with that many more friends so that they do it. So that at the end of the month, this video has like 300 million views.
Oh my gosh. Look, hey, great. You just gave me an idea. You gave me an idea and I didn't approve this with you. So I'm going to pay it with my own money. Share this video on your social media. I'm talking to you guys now watching this. Share this video on Facebook, LinkedIn, or in your Instagram story and tag James. We're going to pick one of you guys to get an additional $25 gift card. Okay, and that'll be Amazon, Starbucks, cash. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll ask you what you want. Share this video right now to win a $25 gift card. Comment on the video now to win a $5 gift card. Okay, so I want to see. Let's go look at those comments and scroll up a little bit, Carlos. We got 3 comments. Let's unpack those. What do we got? 33 seconds ago. Okay, James, what you got to do, you got to go in there and reply to these. Okay. Now, when we do that, I'm going to show you guys something kind of cool. All right. So let's just take a moment. I'll play some music. James, you go respond to some comments. And if you guys share it, you got to tag James so we know you shared it. Okay. You can tag me as well at Owen Video, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere. If you share this video, you're going to be entered to win $25 gift card. If you comment, you're winning a $5 gift card. Now, James, I want you to go to reply to all of those. And then Carlos, refresh. I'll play some music. Dun, 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 dun. Usually I get a lot of laughter on the fake music. Hey, we've got Sonny Dwyer here, Sonny AF. Oh my gosh. One of the greatest hidden talents on YouTube. Sonny, we're doing a contest. Click the link that's in the chat area right now. I'll post it again and go leave a comment for us, right? Boom. Leave a comment for us in that video. Denali Consulting, great to see you here. We're looking at 6 comments. James, have you replied? You got to hit reply, man. You got to hit thumbs.
I'm replying right now.
All right, good. All right, good. I see it. Make sure to thumbs up it too, right? Like get some engagement. Yeah. Now, here's something you guys should know. When you thumbs up someone else's comment, that's good. When you heart someone else's comment, they'll get an alert. So there is a strategy to heart every comment. I don't do that though. But when someone leaves a good comment, you heart it and they'll get an alert that James hearted your comment, right? And this is a great relationship builder in case you guys ever wanted to know the difference between these 2 videos. So I want you guys to keep going there. We're going to do one more game and then we're going to wrap up. James, I want to show you how to use a pinned comment right now. So James, go and leave yourself a comment. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to put a link to your school community in the comment. I want you to say something like, want to learn more about building a financial team? Then join us in our school community and, you know, be a part of the revolution or something like that, you know. Eight comments.
The link. All right, I got it up.
All right, great. Let me come back because I was actually just checking my QuickBooks. Turns out we made a sale. No, I'm kidding. We actually lost money, but that's a whole crypto thing. We'll get into that later. Let's go. Okay, where's the comment you just left, James?
It should be on the bookkeeper to CFO video.
Okay, right here.
Yeah, there it is.
I want you to go click on the 3 dots on the side there. Okay, and then you click on the 3 dots. Watch this.
Yep.
And click pin.
Pinned.
Okay. And what will happen is now refresh. And that is now a pinned comment, which is viewed on top of all the other comments. So we use pinned comments to post our links. Now, you can post links in the description box as well. James, can you show everybody where the description box is? Scroll up a little bit, and you see that gray area, right? Click on more. That's the description box, and it's good that your links are there, but most people, I think last time I heard, is like less than 5% of people open this, but your comments are viewable all the time. So what we do is we go and we leave a pinned comment with a link to it, and that's going to get us into our second contest. Okay, so if you left a comment here today, you guys are getting a $5 gift card. Woo! Congratulations. Now we're going to play our second game. It's our last game of the day. So let's go. Is that Phil Starkovich? My buddy, Phil Starkovich, logging in. Phil Starkovich, by the way, guys, one of my closest friends, created one of the best tools in the YouTube space and is here with us today. All right, let's play one more game. James, let's go. Or Carlos, take us back to the main channel. Here's what we're going to do, guys. You're going to get a chance to leave a comment on one more video, but here's the goal. You want to leave the pinned comment. Okay, so here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to James, give everybody a link to your school community right now. Put it in the chat box. Here's what I want you guys to do. Click on this video. Click on the next video. I think it's going to be how to hire a good bookkeeper. I think we should do that one. What do you think, James?
Yeah, sounds
okay,
good.
Let's go to that one. Okay, let's post that video in the chat. Guys, go to this video right here. Okay, and then here's what I want you to do. I want you to leave a comment. that we're going to pin. So we'll take the best comment and we'll pin it. It must include a link to James's school community. So James, post a link to your school community.
All right. Let's do this one. Sorry, gotta get back to where I'm at.
Yeah, right. I'm kind of improving here because we've had such a great group. I'm going off script a little bit.
No, you're good. All right, it's on the live stream.
Okay, guys, copy the school community right there. Okay, Rosanna logging in. Great to see you. Copy the school community link right there in the chat. Then go to this video, leave a comment that's like, hey, everybody, or say something like, James, this is a great video and people really should know more about your school community because it's awesome. Or I heard it's awesome, right? Leave that comment over here and then we're going to pick one and we're going to pin it. So cool to see so many of our friends here today. Rosanna's here. We see Sunny here. Carlos is here. Yeah, this one's a little confusing. So we may have had some people kind of like, I'm done playing games. I want to encourage you guys, like the winner's gonna win some stuff. We're gonna make it fun. All right, FYI. Carlos, I have officially lost mouse power. You guys won't believe this. My mouse runs on a old iPhone cord, which I recently gave away because who has an old iPhone? So I'm sitting here with a dead mouse, and I knew it was going to happen at some point, but we'll get through. Denali Consulting, good, good, good. Now, if you click on the three dots, click on the three dots again. On his, yeah, click on that. Or when you click on the three dots, guys, you can actually edit your comment, right? So Denali, go in there, edit the comment, add the link, we'll pin it, and you're the winner. But what I was hoping for, I wanted to see like a Walmart rush on Black Friday. That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for like 3 to 5 people would just go.
Yeah, just like climbing over each other, fighting each other to get to the TVs.
Fighting for the fan. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. I guess that's the problem. We didn't have any big screen TVs as part of our giveaway. So
yeah. Okay, guys, awesome. Look, here's what we're gonna do. Carlos, let's go to full screen. Me and James. Guys, we want to thank you for joining us today. And if you want to stick around for a little bit, we're going to film some videos with James. We're going to use this camera angle right here. I'm going to ask James some questions about finances. He's going to answer me in less than a minute. And we're going to take these videos and we're going to turn them into shorts. Okay. And they're going to be released on the channel next week. We want to thank you guys for being here and welcome you to stay. If you want to stay and ask questions, I will ask James your question for you. And we'll even put it up on the screen. So you get to still participate. For those of you that left comments, James's team. James, who am I talking to when I speak to your team?
We got Lisa, Matt, Jesse are all in the room. I know that for sure.
All right. I'm talking to James's team. You guys know who does what. Go find the people that left the comments for the $5 gift card. And then let's see if we got a winner on the share. If anybody shared it, that's $25. And then let's see if anybody left a pinned comment. Okay. And then that's going to be another $25, right? So let's move on from that. And James, you ready to answer some FAQs for us?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, here's what's really exciting is I've lost mouse power. So I can't go to the questions I had pre-written for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wing it. Actually, no, I can go on my mobile phone. So let me just do that. I wrote them on Chat GPT. There we go. James Saudi.
All about the pivot.
So. Yeah. Okay. First question is, can my bookkeeper help me with my taxes?
So, trick question. What I would say is if you have somebody that you are defining as your bookkeeper, then there's a pretty good chance they are not doing your taxes. What they, however, should be doing, and this is one of the things that we take very strongly at OTA as part of our values, is we want to work extremely closely with your tax strategist and your tax preparer, and so that you're not playing monkey in the middle with trying to translate what they need and want to see out of your business and your financials, and let us be the one communicating on your behalf with those individuals. So we make sure your chart of accounts are getting structured right, that transactions are being coded correctly, so that you don't have to worry. And then we'll communicate with them throughout the year to say, hey, here's the updated financials. And then if there's things that need to be adjusted, they can be able to make those decisions as they're going. So you should be absolutely looking for a bookkeeper who has that level of collaboration with your tax person, and your tax person should be wanting that kind of collaboration from your bookkeeper as well.
Yeah, there's strict collaboration's huge.
Yeah.
Okay. What financial reports should I focus on as a business owner to close out the year effectively?
So the reports that you need to actually close out your year are going to be your income statement or your profit and loss, as well as your balance sheet. And the reason that those two financial statements are most critical for closing out your year is different components of those are ultimately going to be used in filing your taxes. One of the things that's really annoying and challenging for some business owners to understand is things that are allowed to happen from an accounting perspective under what we call GAAP, or the generally accepted accounting principles, don't necessarily line up with what the IRS allows you to do on your taxes. And so sometimes we need to, your tax preparer is going to need to understand what's going on in the transaction level so that they can make adjustments when filing your taxes. So having those two documents really cleaned up, and again, having communication with your bookkeeper is going to be really, really critical to make sure that their job as the tax preparer is as simple and streamlined as possible for closing out the year.
Let's talk about cash flow.
Yeah.
What are some strategies? Let me ask again. What are some strategies that I, as a business owner, can use to improve my cash flow in the upcoming year?
So some of the things that, again, most small business owners are generally going to be running on cash basis. They're generally going to be working with folks that have relatively tight terms. If you start getting into working for larger general contractors, or if you're doing government work or working with larger companies, you might start getting into the situation where you have payables where they are not, or I'm sorry, receivables where they're not going to be paying you for 30, 60, or maybe even as far out as 90 days.
Right.
That is really, really challenging when you're trying to run your business. So the most important thing is you might see these like great lucrative contracts where you're going to get these what feel like really big dollar amounts. But what you have to realize is there's a cost of cash, right? And so when you're looking to improve your cash flow, if you're going into those situations, you're going to want to make sure that you have some sort of a line of credit that you can tap to float you before you get paid for those things. You're going to want to make sure that you've priced in a premium, because you're basically acting as a bank and financing that person for 30, 60, or 90 days. And if you don't have a financing charge built into that, then you're basically losing margin, because if you don't have cash to invest in your business, then they're using your cash to invest in their business.
Super good.
So that is super critical to make sure you have access to some sort of capital, but that you're also passing that cost of capital along to whoever is putting you on those net terms. You can't have low prices and net terms. That doesn't work out. As a business owner, you will run into a cash crisis and run the risk of going out of business because you are chasing those bigger dollar value items without properly preparing yourself. So if your business as usual, it's kind of just taking a real good look at when those things happen. And as a profit first professional, one of the things that we really encourage folks to do is if you have large expenses that you pay once a year, a lot of times like a workers' comp insurance policy or something along those lines, is actually having a bank account that you've set aside, and you actually are moving money into that bank account every single month so that you don't accidentally spend it on something else. And then when that big bill comes, you don't have the money left over.
You know, my wife and I have gone back and forth on that. She's my business partner. You know, she's very much in the financials. She's more like behind the scenes, and getting into like separate bank accounts or just budgeting software, you know? So let me ask that question, you know, like there are budgeting softwares like YNAB and others, versus creating separate bank accounts to keep your money in play. Which do you recommend and why?
Both. And the reason for that really comes down to, one is you should kind of have budgets and understand the moving pieces of your business. And depending on the size and the complexity of your business, you may be able to get into a rhythm and just have a good understanding of what's going in and what's going out. And so you should have a budget. You should be able to reconcile back to that budget. But the reason that we really encourage business owners to have the separate bank accounts for their key, cost areas, basically, is all about there's actually scientific studies that support this, which is the more that you put everything into one bucket, the more of that you consume. And so if you were to have, using like easy numbers, $1,000, and you spread that out into 4 or 5 different bank accounts versus having $1,000 all in one bank account, psychologically, you're going to end up spending more of that money. Even if you have a budget, when you make spending decisions, the average entrepreneur doesn't go check their budget to first be like, hey, do I have money left in this category before I make this purchasing decision?
Right.
What they will do is they'll check their bank account, or they'll check their credit card balance or something along those lines. And if you set your parameters for what that is based on how much money is in a certain bucket, that is what will trigger you to make a decision or not make a decision in the moment and save you from making those mistakes. So having a budget is great, but setting up those bank accounts, and you don't need to go overboard and have like 1,000 different bank accounts.
Right.
The idea is, what are the most important things, right? So you can set them up. You can just be like a general working capital or working, operating expense account. You should have one for payroll. You should have one for taxes. Taxes are not your money. Like, you temporarily get to hold on to those for the government, but whether it's sales tax, whether it's payroll tax, or whether it's income tax, you need to have that money set aside so that you don't run into an issue with the government when it comes time to eventually write that check. Work with your tax strategist to minimize that number as much as possible. But at the end of the day, you're probably going to have to write a check for something. And just knowing what that is and planning for it and having the money ready is going to be one of the biggest things to make sure you don't end up in a headache with the IRS.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But isn't the government supposed to be our friend? Isn't the government supposed to take care of us and be our friend? And they'll let us off the hook, right? They'll be nice to us. The IRS, from what I understand, is very forgiving and kind, just like the federal government. Fishing, guys. I'm fishing.
Stand-up comedy, maybe. Yeah. So here's a lot of. Yeah. So what I would say, right? Like, so different people obviously have a lot of different perspectives on, how much role the government should and shouldn't play, and whether we should or shouldn't be taxed. And at the end of the day, go ahead and, for whatever makes sense for you, lobby your politicians to get whatever changes you want made. But until those changes happen, the IRS code is the IRS code. And unfortunately, it's only getting more complicated, not less complicated, which is one thing that for me personally, like, hey, there's things that are certain, right? Death and taxes, right? There's that saying of there's only 2 things certain in life, right? So like, we're going to end up paying taxes somehow, some way, especially in this modern era. I don't ever see them going away. Should our tax code be nearly as complex as it is? I don't think so. And I think it needs to be simplified a lot. But that being said, again, you need to understand that, like, you have to play the game that's being played right now, even if your plan is to change the game down the road, right? So absolutely go take advantage of, like, real estate is a great strategy for being able to, minimize some of the tax obligations that you have. So if you get into a position where you have, surplus cash flow, where you're generating a lot of income in your business, then you absolutely should be having a conversation with your tax professional to figure out how do you legally, put those money into, avenues that are protected from, taxes, basically, right?
Yeah. No, that's good. That's a good answer. And I was really just throwing you off. What I like to do is I like to throw in, polarizing political questions anytime I can. I just like to throw a red hat on the table and walk away.
There's a lot of people, and that's one of the things, like, hey, if you're somebody who wants to get involved in creative accounting and things along those lines so that you don't have to pay Uncle Sam the most amount of money,
right,
feel free to come hang out on the channel and watch my videos if I entertain you, but you're not going to be a good fit as a client for us at OTA, because we're going to do things by the book. Your books are going to be clean. They're going to represent what's actually happening in your business, because that's what we believe is the right thing to do. Now, again, there is an art and a science to how you do some accounting things, right? So like, there's a lot that you can do that's going to be GAAP compliant, that can also meet with the IRS. And so that's why we want to work with that tax strategist to say, hey, are these things that are being flagged as cost of goods? Are these being flagged as, this type of an expense or that type of an expense? Because you might be eligible based on your industry for different credits or opportunities. And there's all kinds of things that nuances behind how we do stuff that can support minimizing your taxes, right? And so we absolutely want to be a part of that, but we want to make sure we're doing it in a way that, your tax person says is going to be legally be able to be executed, and they could stand behind a potential audit, right? So
yeah, we found that, like, having a great bookkeeper and accountant sort of role, right? And we really have like 2 or 3 people playing that role right now. My wife handles all the financial team stuff, but my point is that like, clean books help your tax accountant, help your tax preparer, right? Because it's like, it's one thing to like throw the candy bar, throw the dinner on your business card, I'm gonna write off $85. Like, guys, you're not moving any boulders there, right? Like, what you are doing, though, is you're throwing off your budgets, right? It's like, oh, you spent this much on dinner. And it's like, well, half of those were just the family.
Yeah.
But when you have, a real budget, you have 2 separate cards, you know what I mean? And you're that's just, what do I know, right? I'm just a guy.
Well, but the other piece that I'll touch on, right? Again, so as somebody who, again, I acquired my business, Our Team Accounting, right? And also am in the process of acquiring other businesses and work. I love the ETA, entrepreneurs through acquisition space. So small business M&A and things like that, is whenever you have expenses on your, your business financials that are not for your business. One of the things is when you eventually go to sell your business, you have to add all of that stuff back as what's known as seller's discretionary earnings. And the more add backs that you have into the business when you decide that you're going to go and sell it, makes it a lot trickier for a bank to do the underwriting and understand why certain things are being added back. And that SDE, or again, kind of modified EBITDA, earnings before interest, tax, amortization, and depreciation, those numbers are what a bank uses to create your multiple and how businesses are valued. And so the more of that you have to justify being added back, and therefore upping that SDE or that EBITDA number, like, you're only hurting yourself when it comes time to sell the business. And so absolutely, like I said, there are ways to take advantage of, trips and dinners and vehicles and a lot of different things that as a business owner, you have the luxury of maximizing some of your write-offs. But there is also a point in time when you take it too far, that becomes challenging.
Yeah. Super good. Carlos, do we have any questions from the audience? I have a dead mouse, so I can't look and see for myself. Okay. Super good. Super good. All right, James, last question that we have for you, and then we're wrapping up for the day, is, what are the best KPIs for me to monitor in my business for financial health?
Yeah, so I would say, well, there's always kind of it's going to depend. And the reason for that is, let's take my business, for example. I don't have, any physical products that I produce, right? So like, I don't have inventory and capital tied up in stuff, right? So like, if you're in a retail business or in a manufacturing business or anything along those lines, you might have a lot of money tied up in certain things. And so understanding your kind of like cash to asset ratio is going to be, really important to understand. Same thing with like if you own a lot of assets and you've got a lot of money tied up in like equipment and machinery and vehicles, things along those lines, is going to be critical to pay attention to. Generally speaking, you're going to want to understand looking at like your gross margins. So again, we've got a video that's going to be coming out going over like the top 25 accounting terms that you should know. So if these are words that you aren't familiar with, we've got a video coming out to answer those things for you, and where to find all these stuff on your financial statements. So your gross margins, your labor ratio, your net operating margin are definitely kind of like a lot of those key things that, kind of regardless of your business, you're going to want to be taking a look at. But knowing your specific business, also looking at, again, some of those other big areas of investment, and keeping those, understanding where you should be. And if you're not sure, it's a great opportunity to like have a conversation with your accountant, but also talk with other folks in your industry, right? And be like, hey, where are your labor ratios? How much do you have sitting in inventory? And even if you're not sure, this is also an area where like, as you go and watch the videos that will be coming out on financial statements, find publicly traded companies that are in your industry or a similar industry and see what their ratios are. So like if you aren't a part of a industry professional group where you can go to a Facebook group or a conference or some way of asking those questions, you can go to publicly traded companies, find their financial statements and see what their ratios are and at least benchmark yourself against them.
Great. What's a benchmark? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Guys, that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for joining us today for the James Masadi YouTube channel launch. We had a great time with you guys today. Yeah. Stick around, guys. We will comment to you on social. For those who are winning prizes today, we'll reach out to you and make sure that you get contacted. If you don't hear from us, feel free to reach out to James in the, even in the comment section. Just say, hey, James, haven't heard from you on the gift card or whatever it is. We'll take care of all of that by the end of the week. Thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe. And when you see James's next video, be sure to click on it, leave a comment for us. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you.
Thanks everyone for being here.